most realistic connected.
And what's going on YouTube? Flight Simulation Experience back here for another stream. As you can see in the beautiful ANA livery, PMDG Boeing 737. Just been flying this aircraft, flying the hell out of this aircraft. Absolutely love this aircraft. Welcome back to another stream. I hope you guys enjoy a beautiful flight we're going to partake on from Narita International Airport all the way to Hiroshima. As you can see, the weather picked up here, which actually is kind of killing my FPS right now. As you can see, I was at 28 to 30. Now we're at 17, so we definitely have a cell moving in. So definitely killing the FPS a little bit, which is unfortunate. Let me see what I can do to maybe help the situation. I don't think there's anything I can really do. We're just going to have to roll with the punches. All right, so 17 FPS, that is horrible. All right. So let's get started. We just set our adheres to the nav position. The aircraft is in the turnaround state, and as you can see outside, we are loading up the aircraft. We have our fuel guy loading in fuel, and we have our services here, our baggage cart services. So let's go ahead and start up Pack X. Today's cruise flight is 34,000 feet, and we are ANA 787 is our flight number. So we're going to go ahead and start our Pack X system. We'll go to next there, custom safety briefing. Let's do we don't have an ANA custom safety briefing, so we'll do EVA, even though it's not the correct one. And we will play some boarding music as well. We'll do EVA here. And let's go ahead and start. Alright, hopefully this FPS gets a little bit better. I'm going to need some lights on here as well. With the dim light on. Alright, let's come on upstairs here. And let's go and check our timing on our adheres. Swap this panel over to 5. Okay. Get our window heats to the on position here. Probe heats can stay off. We're going to come on down, turn our seatbelt sign on, and our chimes can go on as well. Our bleeds can go to the off position. We're going to set this to 30, our pressurization to 34,000 feet. All this can stay where it's at. All this here looks good to me. And we're going to come on over here, and we're going to fire up the Actually, let's hold off on the APU. Let's come on down here, and let's get our fuel in, which is going to be, let's go to our flight plan here. All right, today's fuel is in pounds, block fuel. It's going to be 16,366. Get that plugged in, 16,366. We'll just double confirm that. That is correct. We're going to go back to return, and we're going to go to our payload. Today, our zero fuel weights are 117.5. Wow, we are pretty heavy. 121.7 is the max of this aircraft, so we are 117,500 pounds. So we are quite heavy. And we're going to go back to return, and now we can start setting up our flight plan into Hiroshima. I absolutely love this approach too. So let's go to FMC index. Let's go to pause in it. So we're sitting on the ground at RJ. And by the way, this is Orbic scenery by Narita International Orbix. I think they did an absolutely fantastic job as usual. So we are sitting at Narita, which is RJAA. I'm going to plug that in there, get our left GPS coordinate here, plug that into our scratch pad there, and copy and paste that in there. Route, and RJOA is Hiroshima. ANA 787 is our flight plan, is our flight number today, rather. So let me just confirm. RJAA to RJOA. Okay, we are good. Now we're going to go to our departures page, and 16 right, depending on the winds, which is correct, and the Reddick 2 departure, which I absolutely love this departure. Reddick 2 departure. There's no transition. We're going to activate that, execute that. From Reddick, we're going to go to an airway, which is Yankee 60, and we're going to connect that airway to Kina, K-I-N-A-I. K-I-N-A-I, great, and then we're going to go direct to Amuro, which should actually give us the transition. So we're going to plan for the RNAV 28, depending on if the winds change. So RNAV 28 via Vista, which is correct, and we're going to execute that. Under our legs, we should see Amuro. Yep, so we don't have to plug Amuro in manually, so we're going to go ahead and connect Amuro into this guy here, and we should be all connected, other than we might have a vector here. Nope. So all the waypoints look good and connected. I am happy with all this. Onto the Vista arrival. Great. All right, so now we're going to go to our init ref index. We're going to go to performance page, and once again, our zero fuel weight is 117.5. We're going to go ahead and plug that in. Reserves are going to be 2.1 today. Oops. 2.1 on the reserves, and the cost index is 5. So definitely going to be flying there quite slow. 340 is our cruise level today. Transition in this country, I believe, is 14,000. We'll verify that on the charts. And the average wind today is 287 at 22. So we'll click in 287 at 22. Go ahead and plug that in, execute that, go down to our N1 limit. We have a long runway. We're going to derate to 26 bump, and we're going to derate our climb. Takeoff flaps are going to be 5 degrees, and that calculates a CG weight of 23.8 and 5.4 on our trim value. So we're going to go ahead and swap this guy. See, our FPS got a little better at 24 now. 5.3 is good, about right there, as we can see indicated here. 5.4, maybe it's about right there is fine. V1 rotate is 129 and V2 is 136. So we're going to take 136 plus 10, which is 146. So we're going to plug in 146 on our IAS Mach speed, and we're going to climb out to an initial. Actually, let's take a look at the charts here for a minute. Let's take a look at our departures, our star. So we're going to climb out to A6R12. Aspen will be the first fix, and that should give us a climb to Rydick at 200. So we're going to climb out to 7,000.
All large carry-on items are in the overhead bins, and your small items are underneath in front of you.
Okay, so we're good there. Let's go ahead and fire up that sim, connect this guy.
If the overhead bin is full, please make sure you close it as a courtesy to other passengers. Please double check that all your items are put away so that the aisle is
Flight director on can come on this side, flight director can come on that side.
If you're in an emergency exit row, please read the exit
Gotta start the APU
in the
up.
card in the seat back in front of you. If you're not able to comply with these actions, please let a flight attendant know so that way you can be reseated. Now's the time to get out any last-minute text messages if you need to, but
make sure we hear our alarm here.
Okay, good. Laptop or tablet. Thank you and welcome aboard.
Parking brake should have been set. I'm going to go ahead and set our barrel pressure with 2976. Beautiful. Just got our passengers loading in. Our flight plan is in, ready to go. We're going to get our first officer, take him over to probably the performance page is good because I'm going to stay on the legs page here. in case we get updated V speeds. So now let's actually go back to menu. Let's go to FS actions. And let's go to our payload. And just to make sure 117.5, so that's good. All right, cool. So we're going to go to our doors, and we're going to close our door once our passengers are all in the aircraft, ready to go. Our APU is on and available. We swap over our power, turn on that APU bleed. Let's get some, actually, let's shut these guys off right now. Let's get some packs on, which is our air conditioning unit, and we'll swap over this guy to APU gen, which looks good up here. And we're pretty much most of our pre-flight is done. What else could we do? We can come on over here. Let's just squawk 2000 for now. And there's our fuel guy. We can tell our fuel guy could take off now. Don't need him anymore. So go to our fuel. Actually, go to ground services. Ground power can be released, and our fuel truck can be released. Go back to return, and let's go to our doors page. This guy will take off. And ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck here, welcome aboard ANA Flight 787 service to Hiroshima. Airtime today is going to be about an hour and 10 minutes, and we have a little bit of weather in the Narita area, so maybe a little bumpy on our ride up once we hit cruise. Welcome aboard. We'll check back in with you once we're airborne. And ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck here, welcome aboard ANA Flight 787 service to Hiroshima. Airtime today is going to be about an hour and 10 minutes, and we have a little bit of weather in the Narita area, so maybe a little bumpy on our ride up once we hit cruise. Welcome aboard. We'll check back in with you once we're airborne. All right, APU's on and available. Our battery guy has left. Our carts are just about done now, so we can go ahead and release the carts. Got to get out of here so we can get some better FPS. I had really good FPS at this airport. It's definitely the weather in the area that's causing the FPS. Alright, so when you remove the battery here, it takes away the jetway. So I need to tell him to come back. I always forget that. And it's a little dark in here, so let's go ahead and turn on some lights. Let's get these guys on. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at our chart, see what the runway here is. So we're departing 16 right, and the runway heading is 157. All right, so we're just waiting for the crew now. Go ahead and let the crew outside know that we're pretty much ready to rock and roll.
We're on your time now.
All right, cool, they're ready. Let's go on over here. Let's go down here first, and we will release this cart. And we will go to return. We're going to go to our doors. We're going to close our door. We're going to take the jetway here, and we're going to remove the jetway. We're going to go to pushback and request our pushback.
Cockpit to ground. ground. Stand by.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 787. Our flight time will be roughly 1 hour and 11 minutes. Please note
I
the
said 1
taxi
hour
is
and
now
10 minutes.
closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now shut down and stowed. If you have not already, please fasten your seatbelt and verify it is low and tight across your lap. Your tray tables and seatbacks must be in the full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew, prepare doors for departure, cross-check, verify straps, and stand by for all calls.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
Alright, trucks are removed. All doors are closed.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Alright, parking brake is now
Parking
released.
brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Alright, let's rock and roll. We have any fuel in the center tanks? We do not. Okay. Fuel pumps on.
Ladies and
Elax,
gentlemen, please direct your
engine
attention to the
pumps
screen for an
on.
important safety demonstration.
Hydraulics are on.
欢迎各位搭乘长荣航空。
And our packs are off.
探员你好，没错，就是你。这趟飞行
Engine number 2 over to ground.
重要的任务。
Agent, please pay attention. You're about to begin a confidential flight
And
mission.
start valve is open. Low oil pressure indicator is present.
Please focus
Waiting
carefully
for
on the speed
20% on N2 rotation. We'll introduce fuel.
现在我
20%.
将为你介绍本飞机各项安全设备及使用方法。
We're going to introduce the safety features aboard this aircraft.
为了安全完成飞行任务，请勿携带以下任何违禁物品：
To ensure your safety, we would like to remind you that no dangerous articles may be carried in your baggage.
确保飞行中不被任何电子设备干扰飞行安全。
It's important that flight safety is not compromised by any electronic devices.
传输类电子用品。
Alright, we'll go ahead and sync our bug to 157.
WiFi 功能无法调整为飞行模式的传输类电子用品，请关机。
Transmitting electronic devices
Engine
must be
number
turned
1
off
can go to
or in
ground.
flight mode, with Wi-Fi switched off.
Okay, pushback completed.
模型
Please
起
set
飞
your
及
parking
降落
brake.
时，手持式
Alright,
电子
parking
用
brake
品
set.
持稳、收妥或置于
Parking
前
brake
方
set.
口袋内。
Lowering aircraft.
During
Star
taxi,
valve
takeoff,
open.
and
Low oil
landing,
pressure
handle
indicator.
devices must
And
be
we are
held
waiting for
securely
20%.
placed in the
You may
seat pocket.
disconnect.
We are there now.
Okay,
Introduce
sir.
fuel.
Clear to disconnect. Pin has been removed. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Large devices, including
Holding
laptops,
position waiting
must
for the
be stowed
visual.
in the
Thank you and
overhead
goodbye.
compartment or under the seat in front of you.
随身行李请自行放置在前方座位下
Carry-on baggage should be stored by yourself under the seat in front of you
或客舱行李箱内。
or in the overhead bin.
起飞和降落时，请竖直椅背，收好桌子。
During takeoff and landing, make sure your seat back and table are in their fully upright positions.
Alright, good start on engine 1 and engine 2. Engine starting to go to continuous. Taxi light can come on. Swap over our gens.
Partner will provide you with safety
Packs can come to the on position. Isolation valve into the auto position. Engine bleeds on. APU bleed off. APU is gonna come off. Come on upstairs. Yaw damper's coming on. Probe heat's coming to the on position. Everything here looks good. We'll set this to 100 feet. And auto brake set to the RPO position. Flaps to the 5 position.
机舱施压室会自动落下，拉下面罩，罩住口鼻。
Flaps are in the 5 position and indicated.
If cabin pressure changes suddenly, oxygen
Quick
mask
flight
will
control
automatically
check.
appear above your head. Pull down the mask, then place it
Pull
over
up.
your nose and mouth.
Pull down.
Tighten the straps and breathe normally.
Flight control check is complete. Come on upstairs
Put
here.
on your mask before assisting children.
Get our wing light on. Logo light can come on, and steady position and steady light can come to the on position.
When you hear the command, brace, brace, brace.
We are ready to rock and roll. See if our V speeds are updated.
安全姿势。
Adopt the brace position shown on the safety instruction card.
本机舱共有10个紧急出口，
36,
使用方法及位置
146.
另有标示。
Auto throttle can come to the on position. Park brake can come off. Let's rock and roll.
路上或水上紧急疏散时，
get out of the taxi area, we're going to go ahead and turn our runway turn-offs on.
扣好拉紧，
Pull the waist straps to the front and tighten.
Short taxi here.
用力拉下即可充气。
Pull the knob in front for automatic inflation.
无法自动充气时，请吹前面管子到紧液出口前，才将救生衣充气。
For manual inflation, blow into the tube in front. Inflate your vest only when you get to the emergency exit.
有关安全救生事项，请参阅安全须知卡。
Please refer to the safety instruction card.
为了安全，本班机全面禁烟，依法规定不得在化妆室内吸烟或毁损化妆室内的烟雾侦测器。
May we remind you this is a non-smoking flight. Smoking in the laboratory or damaging the smoke detectors is prohibited by the law.
请遵守系紧安全带和禁烟灯号。
Please observe the fast.
All right, so we're going to cruise on all the way down to Alpha.
给您的智慧。
Make a right turn, go out to 16 right, and we will depart out.
愿祝你有个美好的旅程。
All right, Agent. This ends your pre-flight briefing. Your wisdom will ensure the success of this mission. We wish you a wonderful journey.
We're going to do a quick takeoff config check, make sure we have no alarms after we make the right turn here.
The cabin is ready.
Okay, thank you. 23 degrees Celsius, so we're not going to need any anti-ice. Alright, so we checked our throttle. We have no takeoff config warnings, which is good. This should be Alpha, which it is. Folks, we are number 1 for takeoff. Flight 10, please prepare the cabin for departure. And folks, we are number 1 for takeoff. Flight 10, please prepare the cabin for departure. Alright, do a quick check. No alarms present. Flaps indicated 5, RTO. Everything here looks good. Let's go ahead and swap those landing lights to the on position. Alright, looks clear to the right. Nobody on final. And the left looks clear as well. Go ahead and do a quick recheck. Brakes are good. Let's get our clock on. Turn this guy to TARA. Get our yoke up here. VNav, LNav. Now let's rock and roll. Throttle's up to 40. Both engines are stable. Nose down pressure and toga.
Airspeed alive.
Check.
8 knots.
Check.
V1.
Neutral. Rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Into the soup. Flaps to position. Just a little nose down pressure. Go ahead and lock the gear. Push the nose down a little bit. And flaps to the 1 position. Just follow those flight directors. Push the nose down a little bit more. Definitely a little bumpy. And flaps up. Autopilot 1's coming on. Actually, we'll keep these lights on for now. Wheel well can stay off. This guy can come on. The FPS is horrible. We're gonna hover off at 7,000 for a minute, and then we're gonna continue our climb. Alright, continue that climb. 16,000. Altitude intervention. Going back up. It is bumpy. I believe all the weather is causing such an FPS hit.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet.
Alright, 10,000 feet. We'll go ahead and kill the landing lights here.
This is also a reminder to please keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the duration of the flight and do not form a line near the left point.
Take it up to 34,000. Runway turnoffs come to the opposition. Alright, so we'll do after takeoff checklist. Flaps are up and green indicated. RTO is auto brake sets the opposition. Flaps are up. Gear is locked. Lights are off. Engine starts. Engines are in the off position, and we're looking good. Bat 1, 400, and make sure it's 400 on that side, which it is. Okay. The weather's not too bad. We can see Mount Fuji way over here. Stabilizer trim is good. What else do we need to do? Engine bleeds are in the on position. Packs are auto. Landing gear is up, and flaps are up. Go ahead and release the crew. Bumps seem to have subsided a little bit. Standard barrel. Alright, so I found out why the FPS was so shitty. It's because I had Steam running in the background. I don't know why Steam started. It's done that a few times. It's launched the program automatically, and I never did that. So, but FPS is much better now, much smoother. Yeah, it's much more enjoyable experience now. Alright, so far so good. Go ahead and shut these lights off. Alright, turn the seatbelt size to auto. Let the passengers roam a little bit if they need to. Come on down here, shut these lights off. There's Mount Fuji. There you have it, friends. Go ahead and check the weather in Hiroshima. Let's be proactive here. Got some broken clouds at 10,000 feet, some scattered at 6,000, and we have a few clouds at 1,000 feet. 4 knot wind at 290 degrees, 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and the QNH is 2977. Alright, let's double check another website to see if that's accurate. Nice, we can see a beautiful shot of Mount Fuji. Alright, so let's check our winds. Alright, so the winds are pushing to the east, so runway 28 would definitely be the right runway for this approach. So we're going to stick with the RNAV 28, which is directly straight in. So it's actually very simple. As long as you have your FMC all set up properly, the aircraft should take you right in. Pretty much for an auto land, you know. Just about hitting 34,000 feet. And ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck here, is your captain speaking. We're leveling off at 34,000 feet. Air is a little bit bumpy. The seatbelt sign will stay off, but if you're in your seats, please keep your seat belt securely fastened in case we do experience a little bit more rough air. We'll be descending in about 15 minutes. Enjoy the flight. And ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck here, is your captain speaking. We're leveling off at 34,000 feet. Air is a little bit bumpy. The seatbelt sign will stay off, but if you're in your seats, please keep your seat belt securely fastened in case we do experience a little bit more rough air. We'll be descending in about 15 minutes. Enjoy the flight. Look at that. Wow. Stunning. I think it's about 14,500 feet. Let's double check the internet. The internet never lies. Mount Fuji elevation, 12,388 feet, which is 3,776 meters. See a little zigzag line here? This is where they climb up. All right, folks. I'm going to go ahead and turn on some music. Where's my music at? let's go up front, make sure everything looks good, do a recall check. Good. Going upstairs here. Everything looks good. We're gonna go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign on as it's definitely getting a little bumpier. Alright, let's check our plan. Jesus, it is bumpy. Alright, let's come on down here. Let's check our steps. Whoops. Nope, don't need that. So Amura at 8,000 feet. And see, it directs us right into Vista. And at Vista, we need to be at 3,300 for capture. And that'll take us right into RNAV 28. Which is exactly what we want. Cool. So everything looks good. We'll get our first officer. Let's get his terrain on, and we'll get our we'll get him on. Just stay on plan here. See, the flight level here is altitude is oscillating due to the turbulence.
In a few moments, we'll be starting our in-flight service. We will be serving complimentary drinks and snacks. Please look at the feedback for our list of complimentary and premium drinks. Premium drinks are available for a small charge. Please note that we only accept credit cards.
Expecting an arrival of 53 minutes, which that's accurate, and our passengers are pretty happy at 91%, so we're doing good. Absolutely love this airplane. It's the best one in Microsoft Flight Sim right now, in my opinion. I hear the Phoenix. I haven't bought the Phoenix yet, but I hear the Phoenix is just as good. But I don't know. I'm biased with the 7.3. See, we have no chemtrail, and I believe the reason for that is it's too hot up here. As you can see, look, it's only negative 15 degrees. Alright, I'm going to step away from the cockpit for a minute, and I will be back once we get closer to our descent. Our descent currently is 148 nautical miles to our TD, which is top of descent, so I'll check back in with you guys once we get closer to there. Enjoy the flight, and I'll change the camera views periodically as well. Alright. Back with you. See, we started our descent already into the Hiroshima area. An airplane above us? Alright, so just get prepared for our arrival here. Let's come on up to the flight deck, the recall check. Let's go down to our menus page. Let's go to FMC. Actually, let's go to NetRef. Let's go to our approach page. And we're going to do a flaps 30 at 1:35 on our arrival. That should work out just fine. So that'll be our VREF 135 at flaps 30. And then we are going to make sure this is indicated here, which it is. Now let's go to our minimums. So now let's hop on over to our approach, to our ILS charts. And our course is going to be 278. 278. And let's just plug this in as well. 278 for our heading bug. Okay. And our decision height today is going to be 1440. And we're doing an RNAV approach that's going to be the barrel pressure at 1440. $14.40, beautiful. Airport elevation is 1,086 feet. So we'll do 1,100 feet. I'm gonna go ahead and get these lights on. Engines can go to continuous once we get below about 10,000 feet, so we got a little bit of ways to go. Transition is 14,000. I'm going to set RTO to 2. The distance of this runway is 1,067 feet. And that should be good. Now let's come on up here. Pressurization and landing altitude is set. Recalled check. Auto brake set to 2. We can get our speed brake into the arm position, even though we may need to use some spoilers. Landing VREF minimums have all been set, and our approach briefing has been complete. Which basically, if we go missed, we're going to climb out to, what is it? Let's see here. So if we go missed, we're going to fly heading 278 to 4,000 feet and intercept Meissen and to wait till ATC instruction. Speaking of ATC, we don't have any ATC. Come on down here, make a left, and then come right in for our arrival. So very straightforward. Flying 250 knots. And let's just double check the weather again. Okay, let's take a look here. So 1008 on the QNH. Let me check this here. One 008. 2977. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna go back to standard there for now. Temperature is 24 degrees. Humidity is 94%. Wow. A few clouds at 100. A few clouds at 1,000 feet, scattered at 6,000, broken at 10,000. Winds 4 miles per hour, or 4 knots, excuse me, at west-northwest, varying. This report was 3 hours ago, so this, yeah. Ooh. And ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck here, this is Captain speaking. Should have you on the ground in about 15 or so minutes. We got some minor winds coming out of the northeast at 4 miles per hour. 74 degrees at Hiroshima. That would be 24 degrees Celsius. Do you appreciate flying ANA today? We hope to see you on another or future ANA flight. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival. And ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck here, this is Captain speaking. Should have you on the ground in about 15 or so minutes. We got some minor winds coming out of the northeast at 4 miles per hour. 74 degrees in Hiroshima. That would be 24 degrees Celsius. Do you appreciate flying ANA today? We hope to see you on another or future ANA flight. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival. This should be 14,000. I don't think I made that correction there. It says 14 here. No problem. Drag required. This looks kind of cool down here. It was bumpy. The aircraft bouncing everywhere. Just
We have begun our final descent into your destination. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are
all right,
stowed
10,000.
in the full upright
Swap
position.
those landing
Please
lights
also
on.
store any
Engines
carry-on items
continuous.
either in the seat back pocket or under the seat in front of you.
Need to slow down a little bit here. Our satisfaction rate is dropping here. People don't like these bumps. It's at Vista 3300. So we're going to go ahead and drop it down to 2,000. Alright, speed intervention here. We gotta slow down. See the runway, I think it's right there. No. Okay, that's interesting. It's not following the speed. Auto throttle's on. That is very interesting. Okay, there we go. That was weird. Alright, let's go flaps 1. That's a little scary. It's a bug. Slats are out. There's a runway right there. Alright, let's drop down to 200. Altimeter 2977 is checked. Flaps 2.
2500.
Check. $70. Gears coming down. And flaps 5. Flaps 10. Final approach speed 135. slow this thing down. Come on. Gears down, 3 green, all brakes set. Let's get our cabin crew advised.
Traffic. Traffic.
My airplane.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Continue. My throttles.
Five hundred. 400. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Power cut.
10.
Excellent landing, sir.
Nose down gently. Beautiful. And 65 knots. Still those reversers over to manual braking. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hiroshima. APU's coming on,
Ladies
and our
gentlemen,
engine
we have
going
reached
to
our
the
destination.
opposition.
The local time is 10:53 a.m. and it's currently about 24 degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile device.
Landing lights
Please
off.
remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bin, as items may have shifted during the flight. If this is your final destination, we thank you for flying with us.
Retract
If you're
those
making a
flaps.
connection, we encourage you to check your itinerary to ensure a smooth continuation of your journey.
Beautiful flight. Very straightforward. A little bumpy on the arrival, but we managed. APU Gen is now available. APU Bleed's coming on. Shut the air cons off. Flight directors can come off as well. Swap this to 2000. Let's go to 0. Hiroshima. I'm gonna park at this gate here, whatever gate that is. Beautiful flight. Enjoyed that one. This is gate number 5. Turn our terrain radar off. Terrain radar can come off here as well. Alright, parking brake is set. Number 2, number 1 coming down. Runway turnoffs coming off. Anti-collision logos coming off as well. Engine pumps coming off. ELACs coming off as well. Engine bleeds coming to the opposition. Isolation valve is closed. Window heats coming off. We have our probe heats coming off. And we're going to take our yaw dampers coming to the opposition. Adirs can go to the opposition as well. This guy can go to the off position. And there we have it. Let's go downstairs. Let's go to our menu. FMC, PMDG, set our chocks. Request some ground power. Get our, no, don't need a fuel truck. Get our baggage loader crew out here. And let's go to our doors. We will open our door. There goes our passengers are being released. Aircraft, let's go to jetway. Let's come on up here. Turn the chimes off. And the seatbelt sign off. And is this going to work? Are you going to work today? No? There we go. I wish I could do the return flight to Narita. I love the arrival into the ILS 16 ride. It's beautiful. But unfortunately, with time, I can't today. But that was a beautiful flight from Narita to Hiroshima. And we actually are 6 minutes early because they expected us. And I don't understand why we had a 77% satisfaction rating. Maybe it was a little bumpy on the arrival. I totally forgot to start the replay, which is unfortunate, but nonetheless, a great flight. Let's go ahead and shut that APU down since I'm sure we have battery power, which we do. Battery power is now on, and let's go ahead and shut that APU off, as well as the APU bleed coming off. And you'll hear the APU spool down in a minute. Takes a minute. I did shut the APU off, right? Yes, I did. There it goes. All right. All right, so let's come on down here, and this airplane is not going to be flown for from the next crew for a little while, so we're going to go ahead and shut the whole thing off, and we can go ahead and do it just like that. Keep this open. Battery power is off, and she is shut down. And that is a beautiful flight of the Boeing PMDG 737, which is, in my opinion, the best aircraft in the sim. And we are going to shake hands with our first officer for a good flight. And we are gonna take off here. I'm not sure if I can walk through this. Nope, can't. But what I could do is I can be a passenger here. And get up. Say thank you so much for a wonderful flight. Thank the crew. some coffee there. Walk up the jetway here. We're just about to enter into the terminal. Hiroshima, beautiful. Got a 737 Malaysia here. I don't know if if that's a big enough airplane to come all the way out here. Got some weather moving through the area. I assume this would be the terminal, which is not modeled, I don't think. Actually, no, it's probably over here. Here's the parking lot. Super cool. All right. Well, folks, the passengers have just got done exiting the aircraft. As you can hear, they are no longer making noise. And thank you so much for following and watching the stream. If you like the content, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel and ring that bell notification, as I will be releasing more flight sim content. Hopefully we'll get a stream in tomorrow as well, depending on schedule. But if we do, we are going to go back from Hiroshima to Narita. And then after that, we're going to be flying from, we're going to go back to the United States, which will fly DCA, which is Washington Dulles, all the way to Yeager International Airport, which I got orbic scenery for both of those. Yeah, which is West Virginia. So thanks for following. I'll see you guys in the next one. See you.